No accountability. And quite frankly, to be fair, it's really the opposite, the Mets. Like the Mets have, and this even goes back to little moves like Joey Wendle. All right, you're not playing well, get lost. And the most recent move, Francisco Alvarez, all right, you're not where you should be, we're going to send you down. So the way the Mets are operating right now is very different from the way the Yankees are operating, which I find very interesting. But the accountability, young guys, butchering things on the bases, all the mistakes, Dominguez in the outfield, just a circus on so many levels, and there's never really any repercussions. You get run back out there the next day, you're still on the team, you're not sent down, you don't get chewed out. It bothers us, right? Well, now we're at a point where I think it's the exact opposite is also being tested. So follow me on this. So when you do, and I don't mean having an 0 for 4 night, that's baseball, but when you do something that's substandard and you're not penalized for it, that, unfortunately, recently has become the Yankee way. Well, now, the other test on the complete opposite side of the coin is what happens when you do your job at a level that is unquestionably as good as it could possibly be. I don't know how much you've dug into the recent history or even the not too recent history of some of the Yankees minor leaguers. Now, I'm not sitting there saying I'm doing the research, but I saw a bunch of things yesterday on social media. Spencer Jones, nobody in the history of the Yankees has had a better run of AAA. So if you're not going to penalize the kids for not playing well or making dumb mistakes, how in the world do you not reward a young player for, proving that he shouldn't be in AAA anymore? Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I would do. So I have to always preface this with what I would do versus what I think that they would do. They're probably not doing this. Here's what I would do. I would trade Trent Grisham. He's a free agent, okay? I know that Evan and Tiki were talking about Trent to the Mets. I don't even know whether it's a Met Yankee. That's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. But, it will be interesting. Trade Trent Grisham. His contract is up. That opens up a spot for Dominguez in center because I would never play him in left field, at least not for a while. And I put Spencer Jones in left field. Problem solved. What's so hard about that? What's so hard about that? Now, they will never do that because that requires them leaning on young players and doing uncomfortable things and whatever. Not going to happen. Why in the world shouldn't the Yankees do that? Trade Trent Grisham for Dylan Cease. That's out there. Dylan Cease is available. You hope Luis Hill comes back, and he's on the mend here, obviously. And you hope when he comes back, there's no interruptions. But you don't know where this blister with Max Fried takes him. It's funny. I'm watching the game the other night. His hand is bleeding. And Boone in the press conference is saying, no, he's fine. I don't think that's that common for hands to bleed during a baseball game from a pitching perspective. So I would and Grisham's been good. I would trade him. You get another starter, you put Dominguez where he should be, and call up the young man. What's so hard about that? Let's go. And any move, by the way, now, this applies to the Mets too, but it really has to apply to the Yankees. We'll get these calls going, 888-808-1019. I know you guys are jacked up. As much as we complain about the baseball, when there's no baseball, it's torture. Although I was able to just immerse myself in about an hour straight of YouTube, Hulk Hogan highlights, some of the great interviews, some of the great moments. So that was actually, if there's ever a good time not to play baseball, last night wasn't the worst time because I got a lot of YouTube stuff in with Hulk. But I think anything that the Yankees do, if they don't bring in somebody who is buttoned up and highly efficient on defense, then they're just even more lost than I think that they might be. I don't want Suarez. All right, we've all danced around this. Oh, Suarez can hit, 7-8 home runs in a month or so. I understand that. He could boot 7 or 8 balls. He's in the 4th percentile in range, which means if it's not hit right at him, he's not even getting leather on it. And even when he does get leather on it, there's no guarantees making the play. I don't want Suarez at all. You want him, Met fans, you have him. Seattle, you want him, whatever. If somebody else wants Suarez, take him. So to me, I'm in a very simple place here. The Yankees should trade. And I said 3 weeks ago, let me see, vacation this week. I guess it was about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. I got on this station and I said that the Yankees should sell. And people laughed at me. the mock tweets and the mock this and the mock responses on social media. Not that I care, but I see a little bit of it because it comes at me on my timeline sometimes when you send me stuff. And I stand by that. Like, a lot of it was, well, you're going to sell it. And when you hear the word sell, you think stripping it down, winning 77 games, and just punting. I never said that. What I said was there's a way to strip down and still, push forward and try to strike that good balance of fixing it for once and for all, and getting rid of dead weight, getting rid of guys who weren't on the contract, getting rid of guys who were sloppy, defensively deficient, strike out all the time, and maybe build yourself a bit of a better team while also kind of restructuring, which is we all know the Yankees absolutely need to do. Now, I'm not saying that I want to see the Mets bring in a bunch of butchers either, but I feel like there's less of a need for the Mets not to make a move. Mets absolutely need to get a bat. Stand by that. But and I don't want to say that I'm less concerned with the Mets getting, good, efficient baseball players. But to me, with the Mets, it's less glaring. Like, their base running is not really that much of an issue. They're not that they've got, A+ Gold Glovers everywhere. They don't. But you watch the Yankees, and you just see a circus. You watch the Mets, and you see too many nights where the offense isn't doing much, and too many nights where the bullpen's blowing leads when they have one, but you don't see a sloppy, disjointed team. You don't see it. I'm not saying they never boot the ball. They're human, but there's a big difference. There's a stark difference in the presentation of the Yankees and the Mets. So while both teams need multiple moves and both teams are getting ready to make multiple moves, the type of player the Yankees bring in should be different than what the Mets bring in. That's it. But this is the final weekend. So enjoy what you have, because I can promise you from a Yankee perspective, try to enjoy what you have now, because there is no way either team is going to trot out like what both teams trot out tonight. That's not what they're trotting out in the playoffs if both teams get there. All right, 888-808-1019, BT and Sal on. The Fan. Sal is off. We're back together on Monday. We'll get these calls here. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody Justin Floral Park. What's happening, Justin?
BT, happy Friday, brother.
All right, man. You too. Let's go.
Could not agree with you more, man. I mean, let's make some moves here as a Yankee fan, okay? It's time to get rid of some of this dead weight. And, BT, we got to improve the defense. Okay, got to put a little pressure on the corners, the middle side of the infield. I'm telling you, Volpe has gone completely at 180 here since the World Series.
Yep.
I mean, listen, I still believe he's young, but I would like to bring in a guy, even if it's IKF, bring him back. Get him. I'm not going to cost you much. I know they keep talking about Hayes from the Pirates. Don't love him. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I don't think Suarez is the answer because he strikes out too much. No. Terrible defensively, BT.
No.
Terribly.
Horrendous.
We got to get another arm in here because I still do not trust Rondon in a big spot. I just don't.
I'm with you.
You saw him spit the bid against Toronto.
I agree.
I don't trust him in the playoffs.
I agree.
Got to get an arm here. I'm with you. Cease, maybe change the scenery. He could maybe pitch better here. If you're giving up Grisham, I'm for it. Because that means Spencer Jones has a chance to be on the squad. I mean, will the Yankees do it, though, BT? Because Cashman loves to hold on to these prospects and not give up anything. So will he finally do it? I mean, BT, how many years are we going to waste a Judge? How many years? We already wasted another year of Cole now that he's hurt. No. How many more years are we going to waste a Judge?
Well, I mean, to be fair, they didn't get to the World Series a year ago, so they didn't waste last year. But I listen, of course I get your premise, because I've been saying this for the last couple of years, going back to Garrett Cole. I'm sitting here saying, guys, it's criminal. I mean, as good as CeCe Sabathia was, and as good as, Pettit was, and Coney when they brought him in back in the day, we've seen some Clemens. We've seen some great Yankee pitchers. David Wells had great moments. El Duque. I don't think I've ever seen, and obviously Max Fried's been very good this year. It's tailed off a bit, but the Yankees have had a lot of good pitchers. As much as they frustrate us with the prospect hugging, like the Yankees hug prospects like hippies hug trees back in the 60s and 70s. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's got to end. But I do think that when I look at somebody like Garrett Cole and somebody like, now it's different with Cole because of the surgery, he's getting older, whatever, but I've been saying this for years. Well, we're wasting primes. We're wasting primes of arguably the best Yankee pitcher I've ever seen outside of Mo. Didn't see prime Guidry, You know, I know what he did in 78. You know, and obviously I mentioned a few other names out of respect here, but there is nobody that can tell me. I know he got blitzed by the Red Sox in the wild card. I get it. It happens. Andy Pettitte got shellacked in Game 1 of the 96 World Series, gave up 2 home runs to Andrew Jones. Great pitchers get rocked, all right? But in terms of the totality of his 30-plus starts since he got here, I haven't seen anybody better than Garrett Cole. They wasted a bunch of his years, too. So they just wasted so many years, and it's so frustrating. Now, is there an absolute out here? Is there an absolute safety net? Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. But I'll tell you this. If they could deviate from the norm and if they could break away from their comfort level, and that means trade a couple of prospects. That means sell a couple of pieces. Get rid of Goldschmidt, put Bellinger at first, trade Grisham, put Dominguez in center, call up Spencer Jones. Give it a shot. Give it a shot. 888-808-1019. John is in Mawa. BT and Sal on the fan. What up, John?
Hey, BT, how are you? Great show. You and Sal are great together.
We appreciate that. Thank you, dude.
Listening to your take on trading Grisham, you're weakening the defense by putting Dominguez in center. Why not just send him down and bring up Spencer Jones to play left? He's not tearing it up.
Yeah.
You know, just why weaken it? Why weaken the defense for a kid that needs some more more
seasoning. Well, it's actually a very interesting point there. I hear you. Yeah, listen, if Grisham had 2 more years to go on his contract, I wouldn't be saying this. He's a free agent, and somebody's going to give him. You know, he's got this year $5 million. I think Grisham probably gets a 2-year deal with an option for. I mean, not crazy money, but probably more than the Yankees have the appetite to spend, I would think, based on all the other expenditures. So I would trade him now.
BTR, don't you want to win this year? He's on a 1-year deal.
I want to win this year, but they're not going to win this year if they don't do the right things. They have no chance to win this year. This is not a World Series team. None. And by the way, right now, neither are the Mets, but the Yankees will win nothing if they don't do radical stuff.
All right. BT, have a great day.
All right, buddy.
Happy Friday, brother.
Yeah, you too, John. Appreciate it. I mean, I don't think that that's exactly breaking news, or nor do I think that that's a ridiculously cavalier statement. Yankees are going to win the World Series. This team. I mean, we focus on the issues here. You know, chapter and verse, the defense, the base running, this. You know, you got 3 catchers, you got no third baseman, you have 2.5 first basemen. What the hell's... You have 1 shortstop? And right now, and I love Volpe, but right now you have a half a shortstop, or at least a broken shortstop. You know, middle relief stinks. And even a few of the constants here, this is where I get really worried. Even a few of the constants are showing signs of going in the wrong direction. I don't mean Judge, who has been very, very cold for a while, but I'm talking about more about Max Fried. You know, I'm going to attribute it to the blister because he is a stud, but Max Fried, April and May, first part of June, you know, right there with Skubal for the Cy Young. Since, And it's not like one bad start. 888-808-1019. We get Tom in Cold Spring on the fan, BT and Sal. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, I just got a point about what you said about bringing Spencer Jones up. I'm not inherently against that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think it's going to make a difference at all defensively. Because if you look at all the players that they brought up, with the exception of like Judge and maybe like Tyler Wade, Volpe stunk on defense. Dominguez stinks on defense. Gary stunk on defense. Clint Frazier and Duhar. That's just not something that they're teaching down in the minor leagues. I think Spencer Jones is going to stink just as much as everyone else.
No.
If you move Dominguez to center, I think he's going to stink too.
All right, well,
because they don't teach defense.
Well, let's have a conversation. He might stink. He might not only stink in the field, he might come up here and hit $190 and strike out 38% of the time. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'll tell you what, you know, when you play the way he's played at AAA and you're 24, not 19 or 20, I mean, it is without justification not to reward this young man soon. All right, so having said that, one thing that I don't do, you know, and this kind of ties into the Jets, and this is just a personal philosophy, but you seem to do the other thing. Just because one organization does something bad or has a bunch of bad luck, like to me, that's not terminal. So just because most of the young players are not good or not plus defenders doesn't mean Spencer Jones is going to fall, you know, victim to the same fate. I think that's ridiculous to think that.
I don't know. I'm going by the old definition of insanity bit that you hear all the time.
Well,
I think the Yankees should.
Yeah.
I've heard John Boy talk about this. I think the Yankees should trade their top prospects for other teams' top prospects because there's something permanently wrong with their farm system.
Yeah.
They need players who haven't grown up in this broken Yankee system. Look at Cody Bellinger.
Yeah. Well, that part, I say it tongue-in-cheek. I'm talking about Lombard. And, hey, listen, we think Lombard's going to be great. But since he's in the Yankee system, I see why you would say he's not going to be. So just do it now and avoid the anguish later. Trade him for somebody else's top prospect. Wash your hands. The guy that we get will be amazing. And then Lombard will go somewhere and stink. I mean, I know you're saying that or he's saying that, I think, tongue-in-cheek. But that is no way to run a franchise. The way, and this is not going to change today, guys. This is not going to change tomorrow. It's probably not even going to change this offseason, no matter what happens. Let's be honest. But the way it does change is you overhaul the way you do business at the minor league level, organizationally. That's it. Because it's really the same stuff that just keeps happening. Fundamentally broken players coming up. I don't know what they do down there in A-ball and rookie camp. I don't know. And I know that they're working hard. It's not that they're lazy, but you can do bad work, It's funny, I was telling my son the other night, I'm like, don't practice for 2 hours. It's a waste of time. Practice the right way for 45 minutes. Get it in, go out, jump in a pool. You don't have to languish out there in the heat for 2 hours. Just do it right. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal here on The Fan. All right, I heard something on the station yesterday, and this is for the Met fan out there, that I've got to throw by you. Just got to ask the question. Got to do a little probing here. I'll do that coming up as well. BT and Sal on The Fan.